Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are seeing my face for the first time, my name is Miss Soma and I'm a 50 medical student in Nigeria. So in today's video, I'll be going back to my 200 level and 300 level. That was when I did my anatomy, physiology and biochemistry. And as usual, it will be a question and answer video. So the first question is biggest mistake I made when I started studying anatomy. So the biggest mistake I made was not studying with my atlas. Second question says, did I rely more on textbooks or practicals? What went wrong? So in my second and third year, I relied mostly on my textbooks. I didn't really participate. Yeah, I went for the practicals, but I didn't really participate in that. I didn't dissect. I didn't do anything. So I had to rely more on my textbooks. What went wrong? I don't think anything actually went wrong with that. What did I misunderstand about studying physiology? Physiology was my best course in 200 level and 300 level. Physiology was quite easy to understand for me. I decided to give it lesser days of studying, which was actually wrong because physiology is easy to understand, but then it's quite bulky. Which course felt difficult and why? Course that felt difficult was biochemistry because I literally had to learn biochemistry on my own. Next question is biggest mistake in biochemistry. Was there really any mistake I made in biochemistry? I think the biggest mistake I made in biochemistry was not from me. I think it was from external sources. Did I memorize or understand the pathways? What was the consequence? So the pathways, I memorized them. Clinical posting, nobody's remembering Krebs cycle, nobody's remembering all those cycles. Although we still make reference to some pathways like gluconeogenesis and all of that, but nobody's asking for those specific enzymes and all those stuff. Like I understood the pathways, but I still had to memorize them. I understood them in that I know what they are doing, but then during the exams, I actually had to memorize the enzymes each step. What was the consequence of this? Right now, it has no consequence, but during my exams, the memorization actually helped me to pass my exams. How did my revision method affect the tree? Like I said at the beginning of this video, or the second question, that I gave lesser time to physiology and I gave more time to biochemistry. Biochemistry had the most of my time because it was difficult for me, so I gave it more time. And then after biochemistry, you have anatomy. Anatomy was also quite difficult for me, especially the histology part and the embryology part. These two parts, I also had to literally learn them on my own. So I had to give them more attention and I had to give them more time. In my results, I think physiology was my highest, followed by anatomy and then biochemistry. What study habits did I cover from? Did I copy from others that failed? So using two textbooks wasn't it didn't really make sense. Like it never made any sense. Till now, it doesn't even make sense. Like just use one study habit I copied from others that failed. Another study habit I copied from others was trying to cover topics as if we're in competition. Like you hear this person is in this place, this person has read this course, this person has read, and you're like, I've not gone anywhere. So I tried to keep up with others. I tried to read, felt motivated to read, but at some point I had to drop it because I'm not in a race with anybody. So as long as I still pass at the end of the day with a score I want, like I don't really care if you are so far the topic. What matters is your exam. Second to last question says, looking back, what would I do differently? Like I said, the first mistake I made was not studying with my atlas. So if I go back to preclinicals, I would study anatomy with my atlas, especially gross anatomy. Secondly, I would have studied to understand. I wouldn't study to memorize information. I would study to understand. Third thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to make effective use of my weekends. 'Cause during my weekends, I will actually make effective use of my time to make sure I read and make sure I understand what I'm reading. And study with one textbook. You don't need those two textbooks. You just need one that works for you, and that's it. And I'm going to pick the simplest textbook. The last question is, what are you going to tell every second or third year medical student? if you have actually watched to this question, that means you have seen my mistakes. You have heard my mistakes, you have heard my regrets, you have heard what I did, how I studied, how it affected me. So I think you can actually pick out some few things from here that is going to help you if you are a second year or a third year medical student. But then one thing I want you to bear in mind is that you're not in a race, you're not in a competition with anybody. So just do what works for you in medical school. Don't do like others are doing. Don't do something because others are doing. Don't go for night class because your mates are going for night class, but you go there, you not even read. That's just one thing I'm going to tell you. At the end, what matters is that you pass, and what matters is also what you have in your head, because you can't pass when you don't have anything in your head. Any study method that is going to help you to have something in your head, then work with it. Even if people are seeing it as a lazy study method, it's not their business. What matters is that you pass at the end. So we finally come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.